where do you think the path of multimedia journalism is heading? I think it's going to be better for the multimedia journalist in the future to freelance. And different news organizations can depend on them to get the news story because they're going to have the connections, they're going to have the equipment, and they're going to have the resources. Soon, I don't think within the next 10 years we're still going to have newsrooms. I think the dinosaurs and the veterans like the newsrooms because that's what they were told to like. I think students and graduates of journalism programs are told to like it. But there's nothing wrong with all of you sitting at your own house with your own home office with Google Hangout on to get that same feeling of brainstorming and camaraderie without having to waste the travel and the time sitting somewhere that's nowhere near the story. Your news editors want you to be on the go to go towards a story, and sitting at a newsroom isn't always the closest. Do you see more changes happening in the future? Yes. How do you think these changes will affect journalism economically? I think the really, really great journalists are going to make a lot of money, just like writers make a lot of money writing for different publications. I think journalists are going to figure out that when they are the best at telling the story, they're going to have multiple news organization bidders because the news organizations are not going to be able to continue to pay people like Matt Lauer $25 million a year to read stories from a teleprompter that they're handed anyway. You can pay some really great journalists $50,000, $60,000 a year, have them responsible for their own equipment, and get better stories from their own equipment and their own studio kind of setups than you could wasting all of the millions and billions that are wasted in typical news organizations. But that's just my opinion. I am not a news insider. I'm a designer that teaches journalism students certain tools. So I think lots and lots of changes are on the way. Do I think they will all be adopted as readily as they should be? No. Look at paper and magazines. Newspapers continue to die after the fact, not before when they were still doing well and providing the news. They died because there were no more subscribers. So they'll adopt late. News is always going to want to be in control of news. The veterans and dinosaurs and news organizations are always going to want to have that claim that they're in charge and that they know best. When I think some bloggers are better than a lot of journalists out there, and the journalists are just, they've been marketed really well and been given cherry-picked, hand-picked stories. Who can't do well with a cherry-picked story? So, yeah, if you have any other questions, just shoot me a Facebook. Hope this helped.